Would you tell us about that?
Sure. Actually, the city and the county are working together on that project right now. They have each donated $5,000 toward that cause, so that if you're a city or a county resident, you're able to come to the shelter if you're a city resident, or to the county commissioner's office, the county manager's office, if you're a county resident. And what happens is you go in and you buy a license, and they give you your certificate for spay and neutering. You can use that certificate at Salazar Veterinary Clinic, at Dr. Carlin's clinic, and there is a clinic up in Colorado that I'm not familiar with, but you can certainly find that out when you come in. In any event, you use that, as long as you use it by the end of April, you can have a free spay and neuter for your animal. And they're doing this in order to help us curb the overpopulation of animals in the community. That is a big problem, obviously, in Taos, and we need to stop the overpopulation so that we don't have so many animals running, so that we don't have to turn to unwarranted euthanasia, things like that. And so it's a really great opportunity for everybody in the community, because spay and neutering can be very expensive, but we want to make sure it gets done right. So the city and the county have really stepped up right now to do this.
It sounds like a very good idea.
Yes.
And a good time to take care of it.
It's perfect timing, because spring is coming.
How important is spay and neutering in the Taos area?
Well, I think it's critical in any area. I think that in Taos in particular, it's even more critical. And the reason I say that is because overpopulation all over the United States is a problem. But in Taos in particular, we have the animal shelter here is a closed access facility. In other words, if I get full, I have to put you on a waiting list. I don't euthanize for space. And there is no other facility right now in Taos that handles animals. What we're trying to avoid is the need to build a shelter that would, in fact, euthanize for space. We don't want that to happen. If we can nip the problem in the bud by not letting the animals be born to begin with, we won't have to turn to that. So I think that's a really, really important thing for Taos in particular. But honestly, it is important around the United States or around the world.
If a family or person misses the April 1st deadline, what would they be facing so far as costs?
Well, actually, it's rather it is kind of expensive to get your animal spay or neutered, which is why they're doing it this way. Each veterinarian is a little different, but I mean, average of $120 to $150 per animal can be as high as to get an animal spay or neutered. Now, one of the beautiful things is if you do miss this opportunity, if you hear about it later than the end of March, which is when you can get your certificates through, or later than April where it's over, there is an organization called Four Corners Animal League that, again, we are blessed to have in this community. Four Corners Animal League is specifically here to help low-income families with spay and neutering costs. So if you do miss this window from the city and the county until they go back and do it again, which I think they're going to try to do it every however long, who knows? It's a test right now. But the most important thing is that you can then go to Four Corners Animal League and explain your situation, that you have animals, you want to spay and neuter them, you're not financially solvent enough to do it, can they help you? And they'll be available to do that. The other thing that's really important is that there's an animal coalition that we've just started. It's called the Enchanted Circle Animal Coalition. And it consists of Four Corners Animal League, Stray Hearts Animal Shelter, Northern New Mexico Canine Rescue. And what that is an opportunity for us to work together as a huge organization, as opposed to fragmented organizations. And we're going after grant money, and we're going after spay-neutering projects. We're having a radiothon at the end of this month, in March 30th, where any money that comes into us is we're going after grants to match the funds. So if you were to donate $50, we're going to have a matching grant for $50, so you're actually donating $100. And all that money is going to go to spay and neutering, and it's going to go to animal veterinary care. Very important, because all the animals that come through the shelter need to be spay and neutered. And so now we're going to also have money to do that, so we're also stopping it from this end. So there's a lot of ways that we're reaching out to the public and saying, this is something that we can do as a community better than anybody's ever done. We don't have to go ahead and change what we're doing right. We can get it better.